do you have anything that could charge this up? Because I think there's something wrong with this. I think something's wrong with this. Do you have anything that's look at this? Hold, here, you hold it, because I'm doing stuff.
Hey.
Just saying.
Clark with 17 points, 5 threes in this game. Natasha Howard can't hit that one. Stewart keeps it alive for Beuckers. Beuckers short. Oh, Miles.
I need the thing though. I need it. I need my mouse. I can't not have my mouse. I need my mouse, Ymir. I gotta get ready to go on live. I can't not have my mouse. I was just trying to show you the cord. I was just trying to show you that I had a messed up cord so that you could see the entrance of it. Because I can't do it now. I don't have no space for it. Okay, but you have a thing? Thank you. I'm going to use this one, okay? Thank you, sir. Oh, shoot. Now it's not working. Fuck.
Jonquel Jones on the box out. Goes out of bounds to Team Spoon.
How about Olivia Miles?
Miles fakes the pass, drives, dishes.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? That is the game. The game is over. It is 129 to 122. So, hey, that's what happened. I'm going to go over some. They are hugging it out right now. I know I said 1:30. I said 10:30, but I wanted to go immediately after the game in case you guys wanted to go to sleep tonight, Team Witherspoon beat Team Cooper. The score was 129 to 122. So that's where we are. I'm going to see how we did on final scores. They are now getting ready to interview our girl, Olivia Miles. Let me just put a little graphic up here for us. I'm not going to be able to. They interviewed Olivia Miles earlier. And when they interviewed her earlier, she explained a little bit that, she was a little nervous. She had been a little nervous and so forth like that. And I'm sure it being her first rookie game, her being a rookie, it's her first WNBA All Star Game, seeing all the legends. This is the 30th year, you guys, of the WNBA All Star Game. So it's a lot. It's a lot for the legends out there. It's a lot for the new folks who are out there. It is a lot for everybody. So I wanted to just give you guys some highlights. I got my notepad out. I was writing the whole time. So let me share with you guys some of the highlights for the game. The first thing is when they opened up the All-Star Game, one of the things that I really appreciated is they had Rebecca Lobos from like back in the day, Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie. And this was from the, inauguration type of time. So 30 years ago. And they opened the program, the game, essentially having them on the floor. I thought that was very, awesome. It just paid so much tribute to, where they had gone, where they had come from, how they established it. And then after that, I'm going to tell y'all what they're going to do about this MVP and all that. I'm going to see who they give it to, and I will let you guys know. I still have it playing over here. But I loved how they had the older players who had really started the league. I thought that was really, really, fantastic. And then obviously you had Cynthia Cooper, one team, and then you had Witherspoon as another team, as the other team. I just thought that was, really fantastic. And then they brought the players out, for each team. And I just thought that was really, really, excellent. So now, you guys, let me just interject that they're doing 22 points, 13 balance. So they gave the MVP to Jonquel Jones, okay? To Jonquel Jones, they gave it to her. Okay, so I'm very impressed with that. They played good. I'm going to tell you guys how the game went, but it went very well. I thought that sometimes you can watch a WNBA, a All-Star game, WNBA or NBA. They don't do any defense, and that wasn't the case today. I think they did a decent job. So now we know Jonquel got the MVP, so we can just go ahead and go through this, go through it. So right off the bat from the first quarter, Caitlin Clark was hitting her threes, and it was very interesting to me to see, she seemed very, very relaxed, playing. Soon as it got started, she was shooting threes. And Marina Mabrey, who, if you guys remember, I did a video a few weeks ago when I was talking about the All-Star Game, and I was sort of saying people were shocked that she was selected. They was trying to get her to get the MVP on the other side. And I'm telling you, she was very impressive. So she was very, very impressive. So she needs to be on our radar if she's not on our radar, because she was answering some of them Caitlin threes like it wasn't nothing. So I wanted to share that with you. And then Dominique Malonga did the first dunk in a WNBA All Star Game in like a long, long time. She's not the first person who's done one, I don't believe, but she's the first one who's done one. So that happened. So if you didn't see the WNBA All Star Game, y'all missed a dunk today also from Dominique Malonga. All right. And so, yeah, so they're interviewing Caitlin Clark. And like I said, she really seems to, really be at ease playing for the fans. And I think in a, this young lady, they get ready to have the youngest player in history to have a double-double in the All-Star game. This girl, I think this is also the girl who did the dunk. I think I'll have that written down. But anyway, that's Malonga. Yeah, that's her. She the youngest one to have a double-double, and she did a dunk. She looks like she's about 12, you guys. Fountain of youth. Fountain of youth. But anyway, so Angel Reese, as you know, she was a reserve, you guys. And she did get to play a little bit. I don't know how many minutes that she got to play, but she did get to play. She had her pink hair matching her, I guess, Barbie release. If you guys don't know, her Barbie doll, the Angel Reese Barbie doll, was in fact released this weekend. I don't know if they purposely, tied it in, because now she has a Barbie collab with the sneakers. And then she also has the Barbie doll, the actual Angel Reese Barbie doll that also came out this weekend. They had a Barbie activation at WNBA All Star Weekend in Chicago. So she was there. She came into the thing completely dressed in pink. I need to find a photo. Completely dressed in pink hair, the whole thing or whatever. But she did go ahead and play. Now, at a certain point in the first quarter, Caitlin had 14 points on her own, and Marina Mabrey, as I just shared with you, had 21 points. And I wanted to share something with you guys. I don't know if you all do this. A lot of people do this for the All-Star game only. I mean, not the All-Star game only, but the Super Bowl only. I pay attention to commercials for all big events, all big events if I'm watching. So what was so interesting, you saw a lot of Caitlin Clark commercials during this All-Star game. They had a lot of whoever who has been, she has her endorsement deals with. You saw a lot of Caitlin Clark commercials during the All-Star game. So I thought that was very interesting. But you know who I thought was interesting? Dawn Staley, who University of South Carolina coach, former WNBA player, already Hall of Fame, we're sure future Hall of Fame coach or what have you. She had a Affleck commercial. That's the little duck, right? Affleck, whatever. So she had an Affleck commercial come on during the WNBA game, and the duck was trying to dunk. It was very funny. So on the Star Watching, guys, I saw Dwayne Wade, who, NBA Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade, who is from Chicago, played famously with LeBron in Miami, right? D Wade, and he had his wife there, Gabrielle Union. There was a Gabrielle Union commercial today. Also during the WNBA All-Star, but they had her, Gabrielle was there, and their little cute daughter, who used to always look like Dwayne Wade, looks like her face is changing a little bit, and she's starting to look a little bit more like mom. So, it seems like Team Witherspoon came in and they really wanted to win. They seemed like they weren't playing, and when they were walking out of the second quarter or what have you, they were they were interviewing Caitlin Clark, and they were interviewing some other people, and Caitlin was like, hey, I just want us to play. I want us to have the intensity, you know what I mean? And so basically she was like, this ain't no All-Star game, we came to play. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So going into the halftime show, Team Witherspoon was winning. They were basically winning the whole time. So, no surprise that they ended up winning the whole thing. But let me tell you, can we talk about the halftime show, guys? And I don't want to give this particular artist a hard time. I really don't, guys. I really don't. I have my sage. Maybe I should just burn some sage right now. I'm in my home office. This is not a big joint. This is some sage. But I'm going to just burn some sage before I start talking about the all-star person. So just give me a moment. I'm just burning up my sage right now because I want to be a positive person. And sometimes when you're covering entertainment, I don't know what can come over you, but no negativity, no negativity. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about the halftime show. So Chicago is home of the Brat, Twista, R. Kelly, Don't Come For Me. But you have a lot of Chicago artists, okay? A lot of Chicago artists. And we had Tyla from South Africa, who was the halftime show. Now, I just want to say that there's nothing wrong with Tyla, okay? And she did a great show. She did a great halftime show. But sometimes I don't understand when you go to you go to someone's city, you don't have any of the natives, you don't pull any native people in. I don't understand that. If I'm in Chicago, and I know Da Brat is much old school, she's still the first female rapper to go platinum, to sell 1 million copies, right? But whatever. Okay. But I mean, y'all don't have no Chicago stuff going on for the halftime show. I would have had Twista come in there and do something. I don't know, y'all. I know I'm crazy. But anyway, I just always think that it means so much to the local economy, the local fans, that when their city is hosting something, that you pull from the locals. I just feel like that is some great goodwill. I think that it just makes sense. And so, shout out to Tyla, who really did do an excellent job. It was very coordinated. She had her little dancing on, her little cute outfit. She sounded great. She looked great. It was really good. But I just also feel pull in somebody locally for something. If it's nothing but to MC, introduce the person who's going to be the main act, say 1 2 1 2, we in the place to be, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Have somebody local. So that's what happened. So that was good. So that's the reaction on the thing. It was good, but as some local people. But here's the thing. Team Cooper was down 17 points, you guys, at the half. 17 points at the half. And so they were not, I think they got as close as 8 points, 8 points away, but they never really took over the lead. So they came in and Witherspoon, Team Spoon, was just beating them down the court the whole time. Becker, she shot a 3 to sort of try to change the momentum, but it simply wasn't happening. Now, one of the things that I thought was really good for the fans and for us watching at home is that the WNBA had lots of headsets that they had. Like at one point, we're talking to Cynthia Cooper while the game is going on, where she's talking and we're listening, and the commentators are asking her, like, how are you feeling about this? How are you feeling about being here? Because you was at the first game and this and now we showing a highlight reel. I thought it was very endearing, the communication that they were having with us, with, like, say, Cynthia Cooper. They had Caitlin Clark with the headset on at one point, while the game was going on. Like, she was watching the game and she had on a headset talking to us. I thought the execution of that was really well done. The question that I have is, was it distracting to, say, Cynthia Cooper from coaching, or, sort of being able to be in touch with the momentum of the game for her players? Was that distracting? Was that distracting to Caitlin Clark, who is literally playing the game and is sitting out, sort of catching her breath, if you will, and she's having to concentrate and listen to what an interviewer is asking her? And even though they were brief questions, right? I saw the intention, and I thought the intention was good. I also thought the execution was good. It didn't seem so distracting for me as a viewer, but I wonder if it was a distraction to the people that, that was answering the questions. As the fourth period of the fourth quarter, what have you, started, Team Spoon was leading by 15 points. So I remember at the beginning, Rebecca Lobo was one of the, she's an old school. She started right in the beginning, and she was one of the commentators today, and she was talking about how the defense initially was doing really well. But by the sort of fourth quarter, Team Spoon had pulled all the way away, and you just didn't see them ever come back. And so I feel like the fans, they gave a good showing for the fans, but Team Spoon was way out ahead from the very beginning of the fourth quarter, and really dominated the whole game. And so that was very interesting. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys that I thought was very impressive, I mentioned to you that I often look at who is paying for the commercials. Whenever you look at a big sporting event, people do it for the Super Bowl all the time, but I like to do it for all of them. All Star games, whatever, the Masters is coming on and they're doing golfing. I like to do it for all of those. And I was very impressed. They had a commercial for something called leaningirls.org. And it had I saw some Girls Inc. logos in the commercial. I saw some Girl Scouts commercials. So one thing that I love about what the WNBA, and I worked with the WNBA, with the Wizards, with the Mystics when I was living in the DC area, and they will have outreach and different programs to partner with girls groups and girls organizations. And it looks like they are continuing that work. And so that really made me happy to see that, because girls, in order to grow up and become a strong woman, girls need some very positive role models, and they need things in their cities that they can do that can keep them active and that kind of thing. And so to see that they had leaningirls.org advertising on this WNBA All Star Game, I thought was really on point. The final score, you guys, was 129 to 122, and we know Jonquel was the MVP. So, chat, if you watched it or you have any questions, put it in the chat today so we can get that. I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys about the game. I thought it was really good. I was thinking about going out and going to, they had some bars who were doing WNBA watch parties. I was thinking about that today. And then I was like, I'm such a hypochondriac sometimes. I'm so I don't want anybody to spike my drink. And I'm like, oh, I don't have my lid thing. How am I going to cover my drink? I swear to you, I know. It's so bad. But, you hear these horror stories. I'm sorry. It's true. And so I was thinking about that today, but also in the honor of the WNBA All Star Game today, I have also launched our my playlist. I now am officially calling it She Ballin'. And so that is Black women in sports. So all those videos that we do when we're talking about Black women in sports are now officially called the She Ballin' show. So I'm super excited about that. If you guys have any comments, please put them in the chat now, or I'm going to be wrapping up or what have you. I'm so glad you hopped in on a Saturday. I felt the WNBA All Star Game was great. I mean, it was good for what it was. We didn't get to see, no real explosive anything happening. Asia Wilson was there. It was what it was. We saw a dunk, but it wasn't electrifying or anything. But it was a good game. It was a good game. And nobody was fighting. Nobody was arguing or anything like that. And like I said, Caitlin Clark really seemed like she was very comfortable and relaxed. If you've been seeing some of her games over the last couple of weeks, they've been, a lot of, things going on with the refs and all that stuff. It was none of that. There were no outbursts with the refs by anybody today. It was just seemed like everybody was relaxed and having a wonderful time. That's what it looked like to me. And so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up if you guys don't have anything else in the chat and everything. And thank you so much. Please, you guys, let me put my Patreon, because I have some people in our family that have joined our Patreon page. So let me put that up there really fast as well. Woo. Yes, that's what's going on. So it was a great show. I'm getting ready listen, you guys, I'm ready for the US Open. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm ready for the US Open. That's where I'm at. I'm ready for the US Open, but let me see if it'll let me get in here and do this. It's so crazy. Yeah, so that's what we're doing today, everybody. I'm going to do a pop-out chat. Yes, here's join our Patreon. Yes. So, all right, guys. So, I go live on Mondays with the We Got Receipts show. It's an entertainment show that comes on Monday, and Thursdays it comes on Monday at 7:45. We will have the highlights of the week. I forgot to tell you, wait a minute, before we go, oh, I know. Reddit. I know. It was. Oh, yeah. But guys, I forgot to tell you. Wait a minute. I had another thing. I wanted to tell you that AZ Flood, in case you didn't realize it, she won the 3-point game, the 3-point contest. She won. And so there was a lot of fanfare around her winning that. Caitlin Clark was not in that matchup or what have you. So sometimes it's kind of interesting, and this applies for the NBA as well, because back in the day, you had your elite of your elite players. They wanted to win in the All Star Game. They wanted to win the 3-point contest. They wanted to win the dunk contest. Whatever that they had to win, they wanted to win. And at some point, something shifted. And it meant like your elite players were sitting down. So, there was a time Michael Jordan won the dunk contest, right? You don't have anybody now in the NBA of the caliber of like a Michael Jordan or on that level who even will enter the dunk contest anymore. So it feels like that's something that they're doing. And I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would go, because that's what, that's the electrifying thing, right? To see your favorite players, like, do something as crazy as, leave from the foul line for a dunk, or, jump off of a trampoline and try to dump, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the excitement of it. But we've gotten a little, do I want to call them pretentious? I think it is. But yes, Reddit, yes. Oh my gosh, Reddit, cut it out today. Cut it out on a Saturday. Yes. Yes. I like I said, I thought that Reddit Milky Way is saying that, hey, she was not feeling the game, but to each his own. Say more. Are you saying that? What didn't you like about it? Did you like that it wasn't enough defense? You don't think that they were, playing hard enough? I thought that they were playing like they had fun. That's what I thought they were doing. Like you know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. I thought that they were distracted, as I just shared, about the headsets and the interviews that were going on from the coaches as well as the players. Witherspoon was not doing as many interviews as like Cynthia Cooper, and Witherspoon's team won. I don't know what that means. I don't know if 1 and 1 is 2 in this case. I'm just sharing. So that was very interesting to me. But tell me, definitely tell me what you guys think about, did you like it? Did you feel like it was intense enough? And Reddit Milky in the chat is saying that AZ did good. I wish, I'm just going to say this, you guys, and you guys can just, talk about me later. But I think AZ would be doing so much better overall as a player if she wasn't in Dallas. Dallas doesn't need her as much as, say, maybe another team does. So we don't get to see her brilliance. For her to be the number one draft pick last year or whatever, right? And you compare her to what Olivia Miles is doing, and Olivia Miles is number 2. AZ's not having the type of year that Olivia Miles is having. And it's because somebody was out, in Minnesota, and they needed Olivia Miles to step up. So I understand that. But all of that stuff matters, you guys. All of that stuff matters when it comes to your rookie year, because she won't get it back. She won't get her rookie year back. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So I was glad that AZ got the 3-point contest win, but it also reminded me of the fact that you could be the dopest player out there, but if you're on a team that doesn't need you as much, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not people. We don't even get to see her brilliance like that. We don't. And again, I mean, I'm not going to say why she there. I'm not going to get into all of that. Again, I don't have to light. If I have to light my sage again, and so I'm not trying to be negative. You know what I'm saying? This is sage. This is not anything illegal. This is just my little sage, so that I'm trying to be more more positive. I don't want to be negative. So yeah, but yeah. Exactly. So Reddit Milky is saying that they played more defense this year than they played last year, which is 100% in line with what the commentator said as well. I did not see the game last year, so I can't speak on it, but I have seen lots of WNBA All Star games, and I've seen a lot of NBA All Star games, and I know they can get really lazy and really kind of like, oh, we just trying to have fun. You know what I'm saying? It almost has a Harlem Globetrotter type of feel. And when Caitlin Clark came out today, and it was like every time she touched the ball, and I'm talking about in the first quarter, almost maybe second quarter, it was like, boom, I'm going to shoot a three. I'm going to shoot a three. I'm going to shoot a three. I'm not making all of those threes, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot them. It felt very Harlem Globetrotter. No shade to Harlem Globetrotters, and no shade to her. But it felt very much, how, what I'm saying? Like, let me just go ahead and just shoot. And that's what it felt like, but I feel like, the fans, love her for threes. So I feel like, that's what the fans, that's what the fans probably want or what have you. Yeah. I tell you, I hate it for AZ. And then they mentioned in the broadcast, they mentioned old girl coming in from USC. Who am I talking about? What's her name? I'm listening to her name with the top buns. Who am I talking about, y'all? That I'm talking about with the top bun with the knot at the top of her head that mess with I know all the facts, Jaden Daniels. I know all the facts and her name is escaping me. But anyway, she's Juju. So Juju is supposed to be coming. She's supposed to be coming and she's supposed to be in this year's draft. And so, yes, Juju, exactly. And so she's supposed to be coming in this draft. But if she doesn't get on a team that's going to make her a starter, yes, Juju Watkins. Thank you so much, Lenny. If she doesn't get on a team that makes her a starter, then you can have sort of what you're seeing with AZ, right? You don't get to see her. I mean, the way she was knocking down them 3-pointers yesterday, it was like nothing. It was like, you know what I'm saying? We don't even get to see that brilliance on her because she's not getting that many minutes. She's not getting that many minutes. So I don't know what these agents are doing. I don't know who AZ's agent is. I don't know. I don't know where is she with Clutch Sports. I don't know where her agent is either. But I just hope they put these ladies in places. If you're in the top, I don't know, top 5 in the draft, I'm hoping they're putting you in a place that really wants you and can use you, because your rookie year, you know what I'm saying? It almost sets the tone in a lot of cases for the rest of your career. And I think Olivia Miles is having, I mean, she's breaking all these types of records, but you can't break the record if you don't get the time to play. If you're on the bench all the time, even if you have the talent to break the record, you don't have the time to break it. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're sitting on the bench. So it's kind of, you know, really weird and really unfortunate in a way. And I hope, you know, Juju Watkins, I don't know. I think she's coming out. That's what I heard. And that's what they mentioned in the broadcast. They talked about her, today and all of that. And I hope she is, but I hope she gets somewhere where we get to see her. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be able to see her. I want us to be able to be like, oh yeah, she's all the hype. You know what I'm saying? You know, I want us to be able to see her, you know, and you know, there's some on the NFL side where, you know, people talk about players and things like that don't live up to the hype. And I remember when, I know this is football, you guys, but just hang on here with me. When RG3 was coming out, and I was living in DC at the time, and when I tell you, they was like, this dude was the second coming of, I don't know, Joe Namath or Steve Young, or I don't know who they thought this guy was going to be. But I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for RG3. Okay. We thought he was going to be, I mean, we thought Washington would have had 10 Super Bowls. I think they got to one playoff with RG3, and I was right there on the 4th line, me and my husband. We was on the 4th yard line. But I'm just saying, like, I just hope that doesn't happen to Juju, because I think sometimes when you hear so much about a player and then they get hurt and you don't see them, or, you know, whatever, it just seems like they have all of these expectations, and the audience, the fans are looking for them to live up to those expectations. And it's almost, it just feels like it's unfair, because you just think about all the players that you don't know about. You have no expectation if they're going to succeed or if they're going to fail. And so when they surprise you, right, you're like, oh man, you know, let me get a such and such jersey. You know what I mean? I'm impressed with that person. But the person who comes in with all the expectations, right, they're easier to let you down, you know? And so I just hope with Juju, I just really hope that, you know, she gets somewhere. We're able to see her. They appreciate her. You know, they don't hate on her. And she's just able to flourish. Now, I know this was about the WNBA All Star Game reaction, but I wanted to ask you guys another question really quickly. Ryan Clark, you guys know, I'm sure you guys know Ryan Clark because you're all sports lovers like me. But he made a statement recently, and no, I don't have it up. I'll have to put it up on my post somewhere so y'all can find it. But he said, after he got fired, he said that ESPN definitely sabotaged Angel Reese. Can y'all get in the comments on that statement for me? Can y'all get into the comments with me on that? He absolutely said, and we could probably find it online if I looked very hard right now. He literally said that ESPN sabotaged, Angel Reese. And I feel like, when they, after you get fired, and no shade to him, blessings to him. And again, y'all, let me light my sage again. I'm trying not to be negative. Let me just light my sage. Okay, negatives. We want positive vibes. This is not a joint. This is sage, you guys. This is sage. We try not to be negative. Lord, no negativity. Okay. So all blessings out to Ryan Clark. But these folks, when they're on the air, when they're getting this corporate dollar, they are complicit with throwing people under the bus. And then once they get thrown under the bus, they want to tell us what it is. I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? I think you guys, if you've been following Shedeur Sanders and things like that, he's another one that people have thrown under the bus. Nobody has to get fired to tell the fans that he has been thrown under the bus. I think we all know that. I think we all see that and that kind of thing. But it's very interesting. But y'all can look that quote up from him. He literally said that ESPN, actively engaged in sabotaging Angel Reese, and he made that statement. I believe him. Some of the comments, I did some shorts today in saying, like, I'm motivated by the people who don't like Angel Reese because she's able to keep on getting up, trying, improving her game, doing all the things, even though you have all of this, crazy hate coming in her direction, right? So if she can do that, I can do a video and promote what she's doing, right? Which was the motivation for She Ballin'. Like, that's the whole motivation, was like, why are these women taking on all of this negative stuff? For what purpose? Like, what is going on? These people are crazy. And so, I don't know, you guys must not have heard it because no one has said anything in the chat about this, but he literally, I saw it on TikTok this morning. He literally said that ESPN had sabotaged Angel Reese, or what have you. And I just think that, what does that mean? I don't know. That's what he has said. That's what he's alleged, I guess we should say. But I just think that overwhelming negativity, that sometimes our players deal with, that some of our WNBA players deal with and things like that. I think that there's a narrative that they want to paint, that some people want to paint. And I think that's what he means. Hey, Stephen Love, welcome back, man. Did you hear that quote? Stephen Love, did you hear that quote that Ryan Clark said about Angel Reese, that ESPN has been tried to sabotage her? Did you hear that quote? I'm burning sage, Stephen. Every time I ask a question, I'm burning sage because I want this to be a positive show. Y'all gonna be like, Yasmin is crazy, but I really am trying to ward off negative energy. And so I said, This is not a big joint. This is not a Cheech and Chong joint. Y'all probably don't even know what that is. But yes. Yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. So Keisha Posey is saying Ryan Clark is telling the true story. Okay. Now, they've been doing Angel like this since she was at LSU. ESPN is sabotaging Angel because she didn't take the Nike deal or the money. See, Keisha, thank you. I hope you join our family over here because we need somebody to know, because I didn't know when I saw the quote about her being sabotaged. I thought they were strictly talking about as it relates to Caitlin Clark. She's the villain, Angel is the villain because she's doing this, in her face, right? She's the villain for that. I didn't know that it was the layer of the Nike deal, or what have you. I didn't know that. I knew the LSU part, but I didn't know about the Nike deal. And I'm going to tell you guys something else. I think people don't like Rich Paul. People do not like Rich Paul. And that's LeBron's agent. They tried to come up with the Rich Paul rule and all these different things. And again, they don't like Rich Paul because Rich Paul is getting the money. It's real simple. It's real simple. They don't, what y'all think about that? Don't y'all think a little bit of the hate that comes toward Angel, because Rich Paul is her agent, right? Clutch Sports. She's over at Clutch Sports. People, listen, they don't like Rich Paul because when you talk about sports, I don't know that we've ever had a sports agency, black owned, majority black ownership, all them agents that he has under him now. I don't know. That's a video I need to do. I have not seen that many black agents under a majority black owned sports agency. I haven't seen it. And I think people who are aligned with Rich Paul, I think that paints a narrative also. And I think that people don't like Rich Paul because Rich Paul walks upright and he has beat a lot of people at their own game. I think that's a problem. I really do. Stephen Love, you saw that video clip. Okay, Stephen, you saw that video clip as well. Yeah. Yes. Reddit Milky says that Angel fans already knew the sports media were united. Yeah. For CC and against Angel 100%, and again, that's the motivation of why I come up here when she's doing something and when other women in sports are doing something. It's my whole motivation. I'm like, I got time today because it's not right. And if there's one thing that's going to get me motivated to let me stop what I'm doing and let me focus on this and try to send some good energy out, it's stuff like this. Yeah. Yahoo and Disney are also anti-Angel. I can't wait. I know I don't normally do unboxings and I probably won't really do a full unboxing, but I did order me a Angel Barbie doll just because of all of this stuff. I know I don't know if you can see them, but on my table over here behind me is Smurfs. I collect Smurfs, but I'm gonna collect an Angel Barbie doll. So I got one and it should be here tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to show y'all as soon as I get here. It's going to be right back there with them, but I'm going to bring it and show it to you guys. Hopefully it'll be here by Monday for our We Got receipts at 7:45. Stephen Love says that the machine is behind Caitlin Clark at the same time trying to sabotage and destroy Angel Reese. I agree. And that's why, like, when I tell y'all, I don't know if you guys, my YouTube family, I don't know if you ever go onto my Facebook. I know everybody, like, if you're on one social media, you don't be on the other. But when I tell you, I be fighting them fans in the comments or them anti-fans in the comments, you guys, I fight those people all the time in the comments with their hate speech. I mean, I fight them so much because they're so negative. And my whole thing is like, how can we beat that? Is by creating our own content and we become our own machine. Meaning that if enough of us is promoting it and, amplifying the story that we want to tell, it makes a difference. Yeah. Yes, yes. Okay, Caitlin, Keisha said, and Caitlin took the deal. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Stephen is making an excellent point. Angel Reese is taking on the government, corporate network channels, WNBA league, and social media hate. It is a lot. It is a lot. And that's why, like I said, I did a video today. I did a clip today. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of crazy when you think this girl, how old is she? Did she just turn 24? Like, she young, and you're taking on all of this. And why are you taking on all this? Because you won the championship ring and the other girl didn't? That seems like a lot to take on. And then today we had, the president of the United States, I want to say either said LeBron was racist or intimated LeBron was racist. And I'm like, what? I don't even know how to touch that. Where did that come from, y'all? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? That was a whole nother thing. But absolutely. So I don't know, but we're going to have to keep on fighting a good fight as far as that goes. And Angel, like I said, she didn't play a lot in the game today. She had all her her pink wigs or weave or whatever she had. She looked good, and her makeup, shoot, she was playing the game, but look, her makeup was hooked up. Her makeup was hooked up in that game, y'all. It was. Her makeup was looking good. But yeah, she didn't look like she was into it either, though. I'm gonna be real. She didn't look like she was into the game today. She looked like she was there. She came in, she had all her pink on and all of that, but I just hope it doesn't wear her down. That's my whole thing. I hope that the social media, corporate, the network channels, all the stuff that they do. And what's so crazy to me, you guys, about that also is like, the culture picks what they want. Like, you can have all the, somebody can have all the corporate people behind them that they want, but the culture always picks who they want, right? It's just like with the Colin Kaepernick situation and Jay-Z. Jay-Z lost so many cool points whenever he did that freestyle where he was trying to diss Kaepernick. Like, people who was riding with Jay-Z, they're like, wait, what? You know what I mean? It's like, you can be as cool. You can been cool for 2 decades, and then you say something, and everybody is like, wait, what? And I think that, like, people are so used to trying to buy influence, they forget that you don't always have to buy influence. You know what I mean? Because, ain't nobody buy that White Album from Target. Ain't nobody buy that thing. Ain't nobody buy it. You know what I'm saying? And now that you came for Kaepernick, so the people who may have been Jay-Z fans, and I did a an extensive Jay-Z before the Target stuff came out. I did a pro Jay-Z video, I have to say, because I appreciated his contribution lyrically, musically, to the culture, right? And then this Target thing happened, and now this Colin Kaepernick. Nah, I won't be doing any more of those, because it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But I'm saying that, like, people are so used to thinking that they can buy, like Reddit Milky is saying, like, the it factor. You can buy somebody's aura. You can buy, you can force feed somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make people like Caitlin Clark. And the thing of it is that I think that this year, with Caitlin Clark, for example, I think that there are a lot of people that when she came on the scene, like you could like Angel Reese and you could also like Caitlin Clark, like her shooting or whatever. But this year, when you saw the cussing out of the coaches or the going off on the coaches or whatever you want to call it, the disrespect toward the coaches, you're seeing the argument with the refs, the disrespect to the refs, the no tech calls or whatever, all things being equal, it makes you look at her differently. So people keep trying to pit, this person against Caitlyn or this person against Angel or whatever. And it's like Angel seems to me to be the type of person that she's going to try to take that high road no matter what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she's trying to like, okay, let me stay focused. Let me take the high road as much as I can. And everybody can't say that. And that is why she has the aura that she has. That is why she has the it factor that she has. You know what I'm saying? And I have seen so many like sports pundits this year who were previous Caitlin Clark diehards, like ride or die, who are like, oh my God, I can't now. You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with Angel Reese. It has nothing to do with other NBA players. It has to do with how Caitlyn carries herself on the floor. Period, point blank, bottom line. And so, they're going to have to realize, like, I don't know who else is going to be buying them Caitlyn sneakers. I don't know who's going to be buying whatever she's endorsing. I don't know who's going to do it. Her fans should support it. But like people really think that they can force feed somebody on the culture, and maybe they can to some people's culture, but they can't do it to ours. That don't work. We don't really roll like that. Like we don't roll like that. I don't know. Absolutely. So Stephen Love says Angel Reese is the people's choice and the people's champion, and haters hate that. I think it's true. I think it's true. And I think that, they want to try to tear somebody down. And even I did a video about the Sandy Brondello. I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you get a chance, check out that video. I did a video on Sandy Brondello and her saying species. And I think you weighed in the comments section, I think. But the term species, and she was like, Angel is a protected species or whatever. And somebody ended up chiming in, and I didn't even notice, but the person ended up chiming in and said that species is a derogatory term that Australians use to call like the, Aboriginals, people, the original, what are they, the Aborigines or whatever? I don't know what you call them, but they're the original people of Australia. They use that term to call them species. That's what they were doing, right? So it was a racist term that they use in Australia, and now you've just unleashed it in America. And it's like, I've noticed through watching sports now internationally, people like to say that America has a racism problem, but the world has a racism problem, because if you watch, don't let me get started. Don't get me started talking about Argentina, but you watch sports internationally, you will see all this sort of racism stuff that pops up, and they're quick to say, oh, well, we know America has a racism problem. And it's like, wait, y'all have a racism problem too, but y'all are just acting like you don't have one. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys have followed that. Yes, the haters, Stephen Love said the haters believe that Angel Reese is a threat to them because she has she has motion, she is the culture, and she is a worldwide phenomenon. This is why I bought the Barbie doll, and I'm gonna get me a jersey too. I probably could get me a free one, but I'm gonna go ahead and invest in it, and or what have you. But that's why I bought the Barbie doll. Y'all know I don't need no Barbie doll, but I'm gonna have one right there on my table, just to support. And they hate it. They hate it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's like she can be great without tearing down anybody else. And what I was talking about when I was talking about Sandy Brondello is that even though that comment was racist, right? And it's racist in Australia too, right? And if you heard what Brondello said, her apology was terrible. Like, yeah, she apologized to Angel. Absolutely, right? She did that part. But like all of her explanation, oh, we say this in Australia. I'll keep my Australianisms to myself and whatever. I'm like, oh, Lord, child, please stop talking. but but the point I'm making was that Angel said, cat, was on the high road. She was like, I'm thankful, I'm grateful for so and so's apology. I'm grateful for your support. And I'm like, oh, wow. And that's what I'm saying. If she can keep getting up, I can keep coming out and supporting her and supporting other women and trying to have a positive energy out here, because like it's so much negative stuff coming onto her, and she too young. Like she don't need all that negativity coming at her. Yes. Running on empty 12. Welcome to the family, running on empty. I seen more Paige Beuckers and Angel Reese jerseys in the audience than Caitlin Clark. I didn't, you know what? I was watching, but I was taking notes and so forth. I didn't even notice. I have a Paige Beuckers video that I'm going to edit and put up. I'm going to probably put it up tomorrow. But I really am liking her for all of the comments that she has made about Black women coaches and Black women getting opportunities as coaches. It's not often that we have people who advocate for Black women in that way. And I really appreciate Paige for doing that. Yes. Species unknown. Okay, you've had this username for years and you're a real person. That's good. Is that right? Well, Leanne Smith, go to my comments, and we have people who are already saying that that's the case. So, that's what it is. So species unknown, I knew what she meant. I would have told her that language isn't appropriate to exclude. Thank you. Here's somebody right in our chat sitting here saying that it's not. And the thing of it is that, like I've said about internationally, is people are very quick to tell Americans that, oh, well, race is an issue in America, but it's not over here. But that's because people are so blinded. Whereas we know in America, yeah, we know that. But a lot of times Black people are the ones who are talking about, okay, we're talking about civil rights. We're, we're the ones who are like, hey, we need these laws. We're doing all these things to impact change. We're not sitting back just like not saying anything and not doing anything. And the other day or week or whatever, when I Show Speed was covering the World Cup and the stuff with Argentina and the people, telling him to go to the zoo and whatever, I can't tell you how many not Australians, Argentinians were like, oh, we're not racist. And I went on TikTok and so many other people had the same experience. So again, okay, if that's what you think, okay. But now that everybody has a phone, everyone is recording, everyone is sharing this information on the internet, there is too many conflicting things for you to say that it isn't what you said it was. It's too many. It's too many people who are disagreeing. There are too many people. We talked about whitening in Argentina culture in one of my videos. And somebody was like, where did you get that from? I pulled out 10 sources because I put sources up from when I do those kind of videos. I had all these different sources from here. Do you know what the response was? Nothing. I'm not going to come on here and make up anything. I don't have any interest to do so, right? So I'm just saying, it's like, people, are they telling you the truth? Are they in denial about something? Do they don't want you to know about it? Like, I don't know, but I know for my content, if I'm saying, oh, this is what I think it is, and then other people are commenting, I'm pulling them sources up. But I can tell you right now, whether it's the I Show Speed thing I did in Morocco, the Argentina thing, now this stuff with the Australia, whatever, so many people will sit up there and deny it. And I can go and start doing additional research to what I've already done and have 10 sources in about 5 minutes. So if you're thinking that isn't the case, you need to tell some other people. Have a great night, Leanne Smith. Yes. So anyway, guys, I don't mean to be on a soapbox today, but y'all know how it is. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Do you guys have any other comments going on? This was our WNBA All Star reaction. We enjoyed the game for the most part. The final score 129-122. Witherspoon won. Witherspoon was not distracted with all the interviews as the other people were, and so we'll see that. We'll see that, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go to bed because it's 11:28 here where I am. And I just thank you guys. And like I said, join if you consider it. You want to support independent media, please consider joining our Patreon page, because you know what? It makes a difference. We're going to keep on, because we got to keep on supporting our folks. All right. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to stop streaming now, and I will see you on Monday at 7:45 Eastern time for the We Got Receipts show. And we are going to highlight like four hot stories. And I think I'm going to talk about Lamine Jamal's mom. Yes. That's going to be one of the